Down here in Texas, that's where week 12 of the SFL kicks off this evening from the stockyards, surrounded by delicious restaurants, live cattle marches, I guess. I mean, they march them down the street. I guess that's what they call it. Longhorns, Gerald. They're everywhere out here. You can even sit on one, get your picture if you want, but you probably shouldn't. But hey, we've got Fort Worth hosting the Florida Storm tonight. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Diggs. Joining me in the booth is Gerald Smith. Our stats crew tonight, the one-man band, Stephen Hacker. Our commissioner and producer, Cameron Irvine, is here with us as well. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Gerald, did you get your picture with the Longhorn at least?
No, but somebody can take my picture with a really big, huge steak, though.
Oh, so a piece of the Longhorn.
That's what I see. Yes, I'll take a piece of the Longhorn and a nice, medium cooked steak. That would be quite delicious.
It would be delicious. Hey, we got a great game here tonight. We've got the Fort Worth Toros. We've got the Florida Storm. Talked about it at length in our pre-game show. A lot on the line for these two teams. You even gave the hot take that you think the team that loses this game will basically be out of the running for the playoffs, so their season will be ending in just a couple of weeks out. And looks like Florida's going to get their first crack at it. They're in the white uniforms with the red helmets. Kick is underway, and we are live here from the stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. The ball is kneeled down in the end zone, and Ron Cochran will lead his offense out onto the field. He's thrown the least amount of passes in the league this season, Gerald. You know he missed a few weeks of action, but he is number 2 in completion percentage, and he has thrown, part of throwing the least amount of passes, you've also thrown the least amount of picks, keeping it relatively clean. Starting things off, though, they'll keep it down to the ground, and Bullet Beletsky will get his first carry of the game. He's got over 300 yards on the season.
See, and that's a way that they can get started right here, just getting there, going through, and starting out like slow, right? Don't do anything crazy, dynamic, get yourself back into it.
Second down, short pass into coverage. Was trying to get that one out to Stephen Bush. Falls incomplete. Ron Cochran, the quarterback. Bullet Beletsky, the halfback. Chris Komisak is the fullback. Stephen Bush, Caleb Giffis, and Art Vandelay are the wide receivers. Rodney Smith and the Ron Haynes are the tight ends. Randy Fatt III, Joseph Wade, and Greg McDonaldson on the offensive line, along with a couple of others. 4 wide receivers set here on 3rd down and 6. Three receivers out to the left. Cochran rolls left. Cochran's going to try to take off and run with it, but that was well defended. Almost looked like he was playing spy. I think he was just in his zone, though, Gerald. But Zion Waddles in on the coverage, gets the tackle.
Very, very good defense right there by Fort Worth, right? Just sitting there playing the zone and just watching. And once Cochran, broke the pocket right, that Waddles was able to come in there. The first round overall 19th pick, coming up with a huge stop right here. And that's really good for Fort Worth right here, right? With them being, among the league's worst in 3rd down. So
yes,
way to start out the game right here with a big stop on the first 3 and out.
Punt goes back to about midfield. Cade Stevens gets the catch, and Eric Price will lead his offense out onto the field. I mentioned Ron Cochran, number 2 in completion percentage, Gerald, at 62.1%. Guess who number 1 is in completion percentage?
Mr. Eric Price.
You guessed it, 62.4%. So barely number 1, but number 1 nonetheless. We're going to also start things off on the ground. J.Z. Bacon, he's a household name. He picks up 4 yards, brings it to a 2nd down and 6. Beautiful blue skies here in Fort Worth. It was snowing back home today. Snowing, Gerald.
It was the most idiotic thing when I got sent pictures of it, and I'm like, it's March. Like, what are we doing?
Good thing we're in Texas.
The end of March.
Pitch goes up to the top. Jet 0 takes that carry. 3rd down and a manageable 1. Eric Price, the quarterback. Jet 0, J.Z. Bacon, the halfback. Aaron Alexander at fullback. Henry McGee, Cade Stevens, and Stephen Hacker, legend, at wide receiver. Robert Garrett Jr., the cowboy, and James Jennings are the tight ends. 3rd down and 1. I formation. Ball goes to Bacon, picks the first down up, and keeps the drive alive. You talked about it in the pregame show, Gerald, that 3rd down offense.
Yeah, look, and they are among one of the better squads, right? In their third down offense, being able to convert right here. Like I mentioned on the previous drive, right? They are one of the worst on defense, right? But as long as their offense keeps moving the ball right here, they should stay ahead of it.
Pressure on its way, and down they go. Ryan Tobin gets the sack, but it may as well have been one of 3 different players on that defense. Everybody was in the backfield.
Yeah, they had a convoy of people right there just going right off that right side. Too many people that they sent coming right off the the left side of that offense right there, and now it definitely puts them behind the chains. I mean, you got 2nd and 16 right here is an opportunity for Florida to kind of keep them pinned back.
Punch down to the bottom, single receiver up top, single back in the backfield, blitz on its way. Price throws and incomplete. Try to get it out to Hacker, I believe, but Andrew Francis in on the coverage. And 3rd down and 16. I'm not sure how often they've converted these this season, but we'll see what they're able to do.
Well, look, and that was a very good thing right there because it looked like, Hacker actually had the ball in its hands right there, but, defender comes in and Francis and they would have slapped the ball right out right toward the end. Otherwise, that would have been a 1st down.
Same bunch formation, just flipped. Price rolls out to the bottom, throws over the middle, and that one is also incomplete. Tried to get it out to the Cowboy, but the ball falls harmlessly to the turf. 4th down, and both of these teams start off their opening possessions with a punt.
And that was actually a good sequence by Florida right there, right? Being able to get that sack early on that 1st down, put him back, and hadn't allowed another yard since. So wait for them to kind of, because Fort Worth had really good field position to start their drive, and Florida's defense was up to the task.
Wow, punt kneeled down in the end zone. You don't usually see that all that often.
Is that how? That's how their season's going, man. Strange things are happening in Florida.
Typically you just let that bounce, but hey, he's practicing his catch game. That Art Vandelay. So 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Cochran drops back to throw, rolls out to the left, throws over the middle. That one is caught by Ron Haynes. Picks up 9, and that'll give us an opportunity to look at this Fort Worth defense. Oh, the thing of nightmares. Jeff Duffy and Jerry D. Gond at defensive end. Luther Gond, the defensive tackle. E.K. Vinson, the lone current all-star player. Dexter Jackson at linebacker. Tavius Gordon, Adam Leach, Aiden Davis are your corners. Ben Stone, Zayden Waddles, and Delaney Nash at safety. Ball goes down to Chris Comisac, the fullback. He'll pick up just enough for a Florida 1st down.
You said a thing of nightmares, right, from the defensive front of Fort Worth.
It is.
Historically, we would think that. This season, not so much.
Yeah, what's Jeffy doing?
He has 0. Luther Gahn has 0, and you would think Luther Gahn, who holds the sack record in Louisiana after seasons after he left,
Go Rivs,
has 0. Yep, you know.
Cochran under pressure, breaks the sack, throws and incomplete. Tried to get it back out to Haynes. He was well covered. Good job staying on his feet, but defensive line getting home there.
Yeah, I mean, they got to do something. It's better late than never because right now, I mean, and it's not typical defensive statistics you used to see from a Jeff Duffy or even a Luther Gahn, right? Usually, I mean, they would be, halfway to, double digits right now at this stage in the season in sacks.
Yeah, Jerry D. Gahn got home, hit him, but stayed on his feet. Wow. See, the pressure was right there again, Gerald, but he got that pass out, goes right back to his favorite target again, and Ron Haynes gets the catch, gets the 1st down.
Yeah, Ron Haynes is amongst traditional pass catchers, a tight end wide receiver. He's got the 2nd most targets and receptions from his position right there. So look, and one thing I haven't understood with Florida, and it could be part of how their offense is going and why they're not being as productive. They do a lot of swing routes to their running backs.
They do. Wow. Well, Boletsky with the carry there, but Delaney Nash in on the coverage. Delaney Nash was the one who was actually covering Ron Haynes and allowed that last 1st down catch, but makes up for it there by knocking Boletsky right back at the line of scrimmage. Now split backs in the backfield, 2nd down and 10. Haynes moves out into the slot. That's interesting. Cochran goes right down. Ripped down to the turf. E.K. Vinson in his final season of play before he, wanders off to pasture like the 2-legged green horse of Louisiana. But gets a nice sack on his way out.
Yeah, he's coming in there with his third sack, coming right up the middle, right? A blitz right there. Too many for the offensive lineman to block, and they were getting there pretty quick. And now it's 3rd and long right here. Like I said, Fort Worth struggled on 3rd down. We're going to see what they're going to do here.
Cochran drops back, throws over the middle, complete. But, he did get the first down yardage, Gerald. So says the ref, Art Vandelay with the catch.
And I think that might be a review, but very, very good catch right there by Art Vandelay, be able to get himself right there and actually, the way he turns, protects himself and the ball from being knocked out.
Yeah,
very
but
good catch.
I was going to say, I think he also protected the ball from going past the line to gain by trying to do it backwards. And we'll get our first challenge of the ball game. Let's take a retroactive look at the play. Get your console to play the SFL on the go at goretroid.com. Gerald, I do not think he got there. I didn't think he did live. And upon seeing the replay, I also don't think he got there.
Yeah, I think he's short, but the question is, when they do overturn this, do you actually go for it? But if you're Florida.
Call on the field is indeed overturned. Florida will have a 4th and inches. Fort Worth not charged with a timeout. One coach happy, one coach sad, as goeth the challenge every time. 4th and inches, I would go for it.
Yeah, and I would go for it here, right? Like your season.
Cochran's on the field.
You know what I mean? You got to do it right here. I mean, you got a couple of good guys back there. Former MVP, Bullet Biloxi, Chris Comasack.
Crowd on their feet here in the stockyards. Longhorn cattle on their feet as well, as they often are. Cochran to throw on 4th and inches. Does that swing route you talked about, Gerald, and Comasack makes the catch and gets the first down. Oh, the risk reward, but I mean, in that case, they got rewarded.
I actually thought I would have saw it in a little bit of a different form right there. I was fully expecting the ball to go right up the middle, and so did Fort Worth. What they do, they actually send guys out right there, and Comasack was wide open. They would have picked it up really, really easily.
Cochran drops back to throw again, wide open up the left-hand side. Art Vandelay with a nice catch and another first down. Credit Keys in the chat, Gerald says, the coach sharper than a tack. Yeah, it was a well-dressed coach there on the Florida sideline.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I just thought, I don't know, man. He looks like, those who play video games, he looks like a character from, like, GTA Vice City.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And
like
that's a bad thing?
Set back in the 80s. And
Yeah, he does have an 80s vibe, too.
Yeah.
Cochran under pressure again, but gets the pass off to Ron Haynes. First down and goal from the 7. Another nice catch. Shout out to all of you in the chat tonight. Got the Fort Worth Toros in the house. Jeff Duffy in the house. Maybe that's why he's not getting sacks, Gerald. He's sitting here watching the game from the chat. Get on the field, Jeff Duffy. You got work to do, sir. Credit Keys. He not only is Credit Keys in the chat, he was pretty active in the chat in our pre-game show. Appreciate your support there.
Yeah, 100%, man. It was nice to see some credit. Said, man, we hyping the game up pretty good. I thought.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what's up. Validation.
Absolutely,
Thank you, sir.
absolutely. Demond Simeon in the chat. Mike St. Green. Man, we've got a lot of Texas people in the chat. So far, I think the only people I've mentioned are from Texas. That is wild. Oh, Bullet Pileski.
How does he have that much
walks
room?
Into the end zone for the touchdown.
Wow.
There was no defender, and there's the 80s coach. No defender was even remotely close, Jared.
Nope, and you can see in what they did, it was actually, it was very, very good pre-snap things done by Ron Cochran, noticing it was man coverage, sending the wide receiver from that side where Biletzky was going to run to the opposite side. They had a hat on a hat, and Biletzky could have crawled in like a baby if he wanted for a touchdown because no one was near.
Dexter Jackson was the man who was assigned to Bullet Biletzky and got immediately caught up in traffic trying to sprint across the field to catch up to him, and he just couldn't do it. He's nowhere near him. Biletzky just walks that one in for his only his 5th touchdown on the season, Gerald. Bullet Biletzky's numbers nowhere near where they've been over his career. Not even close through 11 weeks of a season. If they want to, they're at 500 right now. If they want to get a winning record and even have a shot at making the playoffs, I think it really starts and ends with getting Bullet Biletzky more involved.
Yeah, look, and they're going to have to be a little bit more, a little bit more versatile on offense, right? And meaning they need to be a little bit more balanced. Don't get yourself in, one-dimensional and things like that, right? Because they have struggled, especially over, the last few weeks when you start out 4-1 and you end up 4-4 and not even be in some of these games that weren't even competitive. 81-34, they've been outscored last 3 games, so it's not good at all.
Well, they're up 7-0 in this one so far. Eric Price just tries to dump one down. Thought he had Henry McGee, but unable to connect with him. 2nd down and 10.
And Fort Worth doesn't need to get themselves caught in a situation where, like I had talked about, where they're playing to the level of their opponents, right? I feel like coming into this game, Florida is in a vulnerable state right here, and you're coming off of a big win last week. Don't let that big win last week affect this week.
Wow, pressure on its way again. Designed screenplay to Bacon. He'll pick up 9.9 yards on the screen pass. 3rd down and inches coming up. Fort Worth trying to get their running backs involved in the passing game again. It's a lot of kind of boomer bust on those swing routes. Florida, I remember when they were playing Mexico City, they were doing that quite a bit too. And in the first half, it was gashing us pretty good. But then in the second half, adjustments were made, and it almost was the death of them in that game.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, if you're playing man coverage, right, and you dedicate it to man coverage, that could come to bite you as a defense.
Yeah.
But if you're able to adjust on the fly and realize, hey, us running this man coverage is making us vulnerable with that screen passes or swing passes and things like that. So if you're able to adjust, hey, you can shut it down like you guys did, some weeks back. But if you can't, it could be the death of your defense, or if the defense does adjust, it could be the death of your offense.
Fort Worth picking up the 1st down. Quick handoff. That time going to Jet 0. Tackled on the play by Andrew Francis. And, I don't think we've gone through the Florida defense yet. Deontay Stoneville, Alessandro Tomello. Landon on him. Mr. and Mrs. on him, getting creative with Landon. And you got Pete Mitchell on the defensive line as well. 3rd down and 11 now. Oh, Landon, you silly guy. Ryan Tobin, Jesus Smith, and Juan Mississippi at linebacker. Ness Ginkle, Ryan Davidson, Evan Carroll, Adam Jones are the corners. Daniel Wright and Andrew Francis are the safeties. And now Robert Crone in the chat. I'm not sure if he's from Texas. He might have thrown off the whole vibe. But we appreciate you being here nonetheless. Quads look. McGee in motion to the bottom. 3rd down and 11.
Fort Worth is, Florida is one of the best in 3rd down defense.
Wow, what a catch. Stephen Hacker getting right where he needed to get. I don't know how he caught that one. Let's take another look.
He got himself right there, and he threw right in that little pocket right there. He was able to make an adjustment and take a huge hit right there. Stephen Hacker is probably one of the toughest wide receivers ever in SFL history with his physicality and being able to take those hits, because I remember when we were playing, we'd go over the middle and you'd hit him and he just wouldn't drop anything.
Another jumping catch there. Stephen Hacker's catch, Gerald, was a good example of using your hands as he reached out behind him to grab that one. And he has some nice hands. In fact, nice hands catch of the game brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in an SFL 4K 23. Strong eye running up the middle. Jet 0 picks up a 1st down. And, Gerald, I thought this drive might be over for the Toros a little bit ago as they had a 3rd and long, but doing what they're doing on 3rd down, they're keeping this one going. Now they're in Florida territory.
And I think they needed that 3rd down, right, to be honest with you, because if they would have not converted that, they would have get Florida the ball back, and Florida would have all the momentum.
Bacon breaks one tackle, can't break the second. Fort Worth Toros in the chat. Pretty sure that's Luis Gonzalez. Says Hacker's out there somewhere. Just kind of, telling Price, listen, if all else fails, just kind of chuck it, see what happens. 1 quarter quickly in the books. 3 to go here from the Stockyards. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith. Stephen Hacker on stats. Cameron Irvine on production. Gerald Dykes, DroneWorks has been to Fort Worth and has some footage from Fort Worth. but it's not processed yet, those lazy bums. They got to get that going.
What kind of business are they running?
Some sort of fly-by-night operation, no pun intended.
Dude, they have an airship
Blimp.
but they don't have anyone to process their video.
In fairness, that blimp is only rented. We just rent it. It's not actually our blimp. We just rent the blimp.
Well, you guys are not as good as some may have think then.
Wow.
I thought you guys were just drowning in the dough. Because I've literally seen these massive fleet of drones.
Oh yeah. They're everywhere. Swing route to Bacon. Bacon picks up nice yards. Rolls his way to the edge of the red zone. Scared me there for a second as he was taking an extra second in the turf, but gets up. First down and 10 from the 20.
Yeah, but the way this was set up right here, right? It gets it out down the screen and makes a good read on his blocks and actually, cuts right on the inside to, to where all his teammates are and picks up a few extra yards. So, look, and now they're officially in the red zone. Maybe not quite, but we're going to call it a red zone right here. So they're inching toward.
That's the red zone. It's the edge of the red zone. Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
Price. Oh, finds McGee down the right side, right between a pair of defenders. First down and goal, and there's no question about that one.
Without a doubt right there. What they do, he just finds the pocket right here. He just gets right behind the zone right there. The safety was a little bit later getting over there and covering his area. And Price was able to just drop it right there in that little pocket, and McGee didn't drop it either.
If Fort Worth scores, maybe we'll get to see the rented blimp. Price drops back, throws up top, one hand, incomplete.
Two hands, hacker.
Yeah, you don't get the nice hands catch using one.
I think he's one of the very few players, especially at a wide receiver position, to just not wear gloves.
You want to know why? It's because his hands actually have the consistency of gloves. They're basically just leatherized, built in right to the skin. I don't even know if that's true. Zero powering his way to the goal line. Third down and goal from the 1. But I imagine it's true. I think it is.
Possibly. We need to see. Well, is it going to be at the next convention? We can just say, look, show everyone your leathery hands.
Just walk up, start feeling them.
Let me see those hands.
You're already an HR violation waiting to happen. Why not just add that to the list? Third down and goal. Bacon dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Toros.
Bacon was not going to be denied right there at the jet zero through. Ryan Tobin in the turf from the previous play. He's like, I'm going to do it with a little bit more finesse and jump right over into the end zone to get ourselves 1 point away from tying this ball game up. Look, and this was a drive I think that Fort Worth needed to reestablish themselves in this game, because seems like Florida, right up into that big, long 3rd and 16 conversion, I felt like they kind of had the upper hand at that point. But here we are. Fort Worth made the best of it, converted that 3rd and long, and kept the drive going, and now tied the ball game up.
15 plays, Gerald, 81 yards, and about half a quarter off the clock as they, to your point, just marched right down the field like a herd of Longhorn and worked their way into the end zone. Got this thing all tied back up, so now Florida's got to answer. They'll take the ball from the 4. Vandalay returns it up the middle, dodges a tackler, still on his feet, breaking down the left sideline, crossing midfield, past the 40, 30, 20, one man to beat. Oh, and tries to spin, tackled at the 10. Art Vandalay, what are you doing?
Oh my God, that was a touchdown to be had. Don't get cute right there. Yeah, maybe the girls on the sideline like your face, but no one cares right now. We want to get points on the board, and you do a spin move right at the end. But, oh, man, and if they don't get a touchdown out of this drive, 80s coach with his weird shirt probably needs to just pull his ear into the locker room at half and keep his orange juice and pickle slices.
Yeah. Isn't it orange slices and pickle juice?
Same thing.
Orange juice and pickle slices at the half. Yum, yum. I can imagine that would be the worst possible flavor combination of all time. Cochran, end zone, incomplete. Tried to hit Haynes. And pass is deflected away. Oh, look at the coach. He's like, why did he spin? These poor two guys weren't even involved in the play. They're
I don't know, coach. He's on the field. Go yell at him. I don't know. It's like, man, he didn't look none too happy right there, because that's a complete missed opportunity to steal all that momentum back.
Watch it be a pick six. Wouldn't that be something?
Wow.
Split backs. Never mind. Offset eye in the backfield now. Cochran back to pass. Swing route. Down to Comisac. Stiff arms the defender. Steps out of bounds. 3rd down and goal from the 5, Gerald. All he had to do was run straight.
Yeah, apparently it's hard to do or something. I don't know. It was not. Yeah, that was a touchdown. You just had to keep running straight. Ran right into the tackle.
Cochran rolls out to the bottom, throws over the middle, end zone, and it's picked off.
Oh my God! Now you just literally
no points.
Took points off the board right here because of your crazy spin, Art Vandelay. Shame on you. And your quarterback just threw a pick in the end zone, and you're gonna hope right here that your defense get it out. This was a bad move right here by Ben Stone, even taking it out. You should have just kneeled it down right there instead of giving your offense the ball at the 2-yard line. Oh man, Florida! It was such an opportunity.
Ben Stone with his 2nd interception on the season sets up the Toros at their own 2-yard line. Bacon in the backfield. Nope. Check that. It's jet 0. Gives his offense some breathing room with a pickup of 4, and we've got a game update from Cameron Devine at SFL Studios.
Thank you, Mike. Charleston hosting Denver today, and whoops, Trellis Blanton doesn't see the defender. Charleston takes a 14-0 lead. They lead 14-3 currently, and they just got a kick return over midfield. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. Jay-Z Bacon down the right sideline gets the first down up to the 15-yard line. And yeah, you mentioned, Gerald, during the picks that Charleston playing a lot better than 2-7 team, and Denver doing Denver things, looking pretty good. But right now, not quite the case.
Yeah, and I think some of the most dangerous teams is toward the end of the season. Teams that have nothing to lose. Their season's already over, and they're going to start throwing some interesting looks at you. And as an opponent, you don't know what to quite expect. But
Eric Price throws on the run, bounces off McGee's shoulder pad, and falls incomplete. Senior McGee unable to haul that one in. But yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, Charleston at this point just looking to see what they can do with the rest of their season, and maybe test some offensive, defensive schemes in real live game action when it doesn't totally matter what happens.
And they're up 14-0 right now.
14-3, yeah.
14-3.
Pass to McGee over the middle, catches that one, gets the first down up to about the 25-yard line. So yeah, totally missed opportunity for Florida. We know we've already talked about it. This will be the last I mentioned it. That's probably not true. You know how we like to dwell on things. I almost called that kick return our breakaway play of the game, but now you can't because it didn't score, and it ultimately resulted in nothing.
It didn't break anything but Florida's will, and I don't know, something, because now they come away with nothing on that drive. Oh, they got it back!
Yep, Price throws it right back to Florida as Andrew Francis gets the pick, and well, I guess nobody wants to win this game.
Look, and this is a somewhat of a rarity for Florida right here. We touched on in the Matt Wilson kickoff show right here how they have not taken the ball away like they have done in seasons past.
That's his first of the season.
You know what I mean? So, and here it is. You look, and that's his first of the season right here. So it just shows you right now, hey, look, they have to start doing these things to keep themselves in the game and try to put themselves right back in the win column.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a team defensively. All time, this defensive roster has a combined total of 378 interceptions. It's not like they don't know how to take the ball away. But to your point, they just haven't done it this season. Andrew Francis, coming into tonight's game, has 51 interceptions on his career. That's 35th best. Ryan Tobin, the inside linebacker, 55 picks. That's 28th best in the league. How about Ryan Davidson? 90 picks on his career, 6th best in the league. Guess who number 1 in the league is all-time in interceptions, Gerald? Evan Carroll, 108. He's on this defense too. I mean, they know how to take the ball away, but so far throughout this season, 12 total interceptions, now 13. So, Ron Haynes gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, and hey, just like that, they're right back where they left off after their kick return.
right after, Art Vanderlei ruined the drive by spinning, and here they are right back down there. So, look, and we're going to see what they're going to do right here. Last time they were down in this area, they were able to get themselves in there and actually score and actually, put a motion play on and run to the opposite side of the field and actually score a touchdown.
Well, the last time they were in this area, they threw a pick in the end zone.
Well, last time they actually scored.
Yeah. Chris Komisak, he'll pick up 1. Updated look at the team stats. Your first look at the team stats. Couldn't be any more even overall. It's 110 yards each. Mostly in the passing game, averaging about half of what they need for a first down per play. High formation on 2nd and goal. Boletsky trying to bounce to the outside, cannot get through E.K. Vincent. 3rd down and goal. The coach's hair even makes him look 80s like. He looks like George Costanza over there. Jerry! I told him to go outside!
He's got an interesting look, I tell you. Look, I wouldn't throw it over the middle right here. Do not.
Didn't work last time. 3rd down and goal. Cochran to throw. Up top. Incomplete. Stephen Bush unable to pick it up off the turf. 4th down, and they'll have to settle for Ethan Sneed kicking a field goal. Sneed 11 of 12 on the season so far. This one a chip shot, not much farther than an extra point.
And I would. That's where the swing pass or screen pass may have came in handy right there, right? Just being able to dump it off and see what you can get out of it. It's a low risk, right, with the potential to be a high reward at the distance to get in the end zone right there. But they are settling for 3, and I wouldn't say any momentum was gained back by them, because they had a touchdown on the board that they literally took off, for themselves by just hitting the spin move. But they had the lead.
Gerald, the SFL convention in 2025 is going to be here before you know it. Rooms are going fast. Kicking off the league's 25th anniversary season, it's going to be July 10th to the 14th. It's only a few months away now. If you want to go, you need to book your room now. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency on Baltimore's Inner Harbor. You can reserve your room now at the special group rate by visiting simfl.net. The link is right at the top of the website. The rooftop pool is a cool feature. I'm looking forward to that. But the venue itself, we got the top floor of the hotel, floor-to-ceiling windows, and it's the entire top floor of the hotel. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I just, all the things I say in all these shows, I got to be careful that I don't get thrown off.
Yeah.
By,
Yeah. 1 second you're sitting by the rooftop pool, the next you're on the street below.
Yeah, maybe I ought to put my bone grinding on hold.
Yeah, I would suggest that probably be a wise idea. Just maybe tone it down near the end of the season, and everyone will forget over the summer. Till we get to the convention, then they'll be like, oh, Gerald, we like him, I think.
No, that's inaccurate.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, they don't forget. Believe me, they don't.
3rd down and 1 coming up. Strong eye formation again for the Toros. They're going to pitch this one down to the bottom. 0, powering through, gets the first down. Clock rolling, under 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
At what point you're going to, because we know last time, right, they had a very, very lengthy drive. They went down and got a touchdown, but, I don't think time is actually on their side right here, right? Being at the 32-yard line and, putting a slow, methodical drive right here is not going to be in their favor. At what point do you start? Look, I know they're probably not going to go and do anything up-tempo related up until, they get under 2 minutes. They do have all their timeouts. But I do think you need to, start doing something a little bit more aggressive than what you're doing right now.
Daniel Wright on the tackle there. Price, short drop, quick pass over the middle. That one's incomplete. Tried to get it out to a relatively quiet Cade Stevens. 3rd down and 11. On the offensive line for Fort Worth, we haven't gone through that list. Duke LaRue, Emilio Panda, Jaleel LaRue, and Frank Burks. Everybody but the center. 3rd down and 11 now. bunch formation, 3 to the bottom, 1 to the top. Price rolls out left, throws middle, first down, and a little bit more to the Cowboy. Robert Garrett Jr. with the catch.
And the Cowboy hasn't been all that active, right? That's only his 15th catch on the season right there, being able to come across and find himself open right there. So very, very good conversion at 2nd and long.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Close ball game. 10-7. Fort Worth trailing, but on the move. This is the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network.
At one time, the Cowboys kind of unstoppable. You know how I know he actually beat us to death. We couldn't cover him to stay alive. Caused us to lose a couple of games.
Bacon hurdling a defender, juking the next one, and getting all his way up to a 2nd down and inches mark.
And that's not how that works to get that first down, by the way. But
yeah, he was trying a little something there, but
he was able to put a move on and get in there at 9.99 yards.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 9.99.
Yeah, 99.
Wow.
You got to hit more of the numbers. It makes it even closer. 99999. That's
I was going to say, wait till the next one. We're going to start busting out fractions. 2nd and inches is converted. 0 able to pick it up. 1.5 minutes to go. All 3 timeouts for both of these teams. Neither one ready to use them quite yet. Still well outside field goal range for Amelia Rose. Price. They'll stick to the ground game with Bacon, but I imagine that'll probably come to an end now as Fort Worth calls their first timeout.
They need themselves of about 15 yards to get themselves within any kind of a field goal range for the kicker here. But, God, and we're going to see how aggressive they're going to be. But don't put it in any kind of jeopardy right here. And don't give Florida any more advantage right. They already got 1 pick on the day today, right? And they're not known for picking anything off this season. Just don't give them anything.
Price puts Hacker in the slots. Keep an eye on him. Price goes that way, but incomplete. He liked the matchup. Again, I don't blame him. Against Juan, Mississippi, linebacker. That matchup falls in Hacker's favor. 9.999999999 and 9/10 times out of 10, but not that time.
No, and you know what? I don't think it was a good throw by Price right there. Too.
Yeah,
I think
it
threw it
quick
to the wrong side.
Yeah. 3rd and 10. Price heaving it into double coverage, trying to force feed Hacker at this point, Gerald, and that's just not getting it done. As that one's broken up by Ryan Davidson, and they're gonna have to punt this one away.
Yeah, I feel like they went a little bit too deep on both drives, like on the last 2 plays. Right, you didn't need all of it in one play, but that's what they tried to do. And now you're just giving it right back. No, you're not. You're going for it right here. Wow. I don't know if I like this at all. You better pick this up.
4th and 10. And only about 15 yards out of field goal range for Florida. If they don't get it going deep down the field, and it doesn't matter. Their 2nd interception of the ball game. Ryan Davidson broke up the last pass that went to Hacker. They tested him again, and that bit him in the rump. I don't know. What are you allowed to say there? But
the tookus.
The tookus?
It bit him in the tookus, and guess what he does? He took it back the other way and got close to midfield. And man, and that's not I don't know. I guess maybe it's I would have rather the punt there, right? Because if you give a punt
for sure.
Worst case scenario, if you punt it in the end zone, they're at the 20. You're giving them 26 more yards than what you would have on the punt.
Ron Cochran now trying to get his team in field goal range. Gets it to Caleb Giffis, his first catch of the ball game.
And these are the type of decisions, right, that you have to look and as I said it already, like why does Fort Worth play this way when they're playing certain teams, right, and they play so well against a team like you and like Washington and
got to rub that in, huh?
Right, and then they end up in a situation like this where I don't think Florida's playing all that crisp or well, and they're just handing them some things.
Bush in motion to the bottom. They'll swing this one down to Ron Haynes, tackled for a loss on the play. And 2nd timeout called by Florida. 3rd down and 3.
Now, if it's 3rd and 3, we're going to see if they're going to pick this up. If they don't pick it up,
Watch them go for it.
And they go for it.
They won't.
Like,
well, what do I know?
What do they, like, if this happens, it's just how this play plays out, but they go for it with not gaining any yards here. I'd be like, I don't know what you're doing.
The spinster himself, Art Vandelay, in motion to the bottom. Will throw up top to Ron Haynes. Oh, man. Picked up the first down and then got face masked for his trouble. Let's see where they spot him.
Oh,
they're going to call
it's only a fiver.
Yeah, the old fiver. Is E.K. Vincent getting a little handsy.
But
he's been known to do that, especially after some jack. But
one thing that they did a favor with that penalty was it stopped the clock. It was a free timeout that they gave Florida right there with that penalty.
Florida with only one timeout remaining. Caleb Giffis in motion up into the slot. From the 35, Cochran over the middle. Now they're in field goal range with that catch. And their final timeout now called. So not a lot of time left, Gerald. If they're going to have to be careful with throwing passes over the middle, keeping them in the field of play.
I just don't like them giving those, throwing that pick and everything else and giving them 25 extra yards off of that instead of punting it through the end zone, because right now they wouldn't even be, they'd be at roughly midfield right now.
Two receivers up top. Cochran goes that way. It throws it right into coverage and picked off. That was just a sea of dark blue there, Gerald, and Aiden Davis was the benefactor of that one.
I say that, and here they are. They come up big right here. I thought there was a lot of contact in that whole scrum that was happening right there. What was going on? But, Ron Haynes, he was going low to the ground to get it, but being able to come off of coverage right there and pick it off, and Aiden Davis being able to get the ball back for this offense, and no harm, no foul, but 4 total turnovers in this game, 2 by each squad.
33 seconds to go. Now I thought we might be content to keep it on the ground. Not, we're going to keep slinging it. Henry McGee with the catch. Fort Worth calling their first timeout.
I just think that all these, some of these turnovers in some areas, and when teams are getting close to scoring, and that's Florida's second turnover in in or around the red zone there, and it's just points just left out there.
Yeah, both quarterbacks with similar numbers today, each throwing a pair of interceptions. That was almost his third, Gerald. I mean, they are force-feeding it to Stephen Hacker, and it's just not paying off. Stephen Hacker on the night has been targeted 7 times, Gerald. Do you know how many catches he has?
I'm looking at it, trying to find it. I don't know, not 7. One.
Here's the last 10 pass attempts by Eric Price. That tells the story.
Wow. He's completed 5 passes if we're counting the interceptions.
That's not how it works.
I know.
Okay. Price doesn't complete that one either. This is both of these teams need to just take a breather at halftime, and
it's looking really, really sloppy right now.
On both sides.
And like these two teams, look, and the pedigree, the players, the coaching, and everything else. This is not how these teams typically play. It's especially in the last 5 minutes of this half. It's looking really, really sloppy.
Price throws a short one over the middle to Cade Stevens. He'll pick up 9.9 and 9/10 yards.
Yep,
that'll be it.
And they're going to let it run out. They're not going to be aggressive now. What a surprise! Why would you even come out in this formation? Why would you
just to aggravate you is my guess. All right, so a sloppy first half of football is in the books. We'll see what sort of halftime adjustments are made and then come back out on the other side. Florida out in front 10-7 over the Fort Worth Toros as we head to halftime to look at the first half stats and some snapshots of the half. Gerald, your thoughts so far on this game?
I really do think for both squads, and maybe you might agree with me, I think they're both looking somewhat desperate to get this win right here. And when you start to get desperate, things get a little bit sloppy. And I think we're seeing that on both sides of the ball for both teams, right? Especially the offense in particular, right? You have 4 total turnovers right here. Look at Eric Price. 22 attempts and only 9 completions right there, trying to force feed Hacker. But they're both going to have to clean up on both sides of the ball, and maybe someone will get ahead of it all and actually play some good football in the second half.
Now, Jay-Z Bacon with 9 rush attempts, 32 yards, and a touchdown. He's also got 22 receiving yards. That's your halftime player of the game. And we'll take a quick break. Presented by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
An Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Brakes GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Brakes GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on the Brakes GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner by visiting our site, brakesgpt.com. Think outside the box in the chat. Gerald says, sloppy. That ain't the half of it. But that was the half of the game anyway. The first half, just sloppy, and to your point, Fort Worth, they're at the bottom of the South. They still have a path to win the South Division, but it starts tonight. They've got to win this game if they have a shot at that at all. And,
And both squads, I don't think they can afford to lose at all. I think
Right.
I really do believe if they lose this game, I think they're done.
Well, if Fort Worth loses, it brings them right back to 500 and then pretty much eliminates a shot at winning the South and requires that they win out. You got to have 7 wins to make the playoffs. You have to. So if they lose this one, then they've only got 2 games left. They have to win them both to have a shot. If Florida loses this game, they fall to having a losing record on the season. That does not happen often. I think, if I remember right, is Henry McGee. Oh, wow! There's your breakaway play of the game. McGee, he's off to the races. Is he going to get caught? Yes, he does. Ryan Davidson's able to get the tackle. Another last-second spin, Gerald.
He tried to get that last-second spin in there, right there. And what it is, I don't think he would have made it anyway, but he said, Art Vandelay, I'm going to try and do you one better and make it work, and he doesn't. But what he does, he gets his team down there and gets them in a position right there, and that is, like you said, one of the breakaway plays that they needed on offense because they were doing this slow, methodical type drive stuff, and
finally a big play.
Right, and it hadn't really worked for them, especially toward the end of the half. I mean, you need time to put those together, but this is a play that they needed, and this is what you want to come out in the third quarter on your first drive and do something similar to this to get yourself right here, and now they're right, they're almost inside the 10.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from the 10.5. Bacon tackled back at the line. That catch by McGee, that was our breakaway play of the game, brought to you by Brakes GPT, sports memorabilia breakers and collectors. You never know whose autographed helmet or jersey you might hit. Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco. I want a Chad Johnson Ocho Cinco jersey. Check them out at brakesgpt.com. 2nd down and 9. Ocho Cinco was always such a fun player. Jet 0. Setting him up with a 3rd down and 4. He picks up 3 that time.
And that was back when the league was a little bit more fun.
It was a lot more fun.
It was like, man, you can have these gimmicks. And
remember when Ocho Cinco and T.O. were both on the Bengals?
T.O. was on the Bengals?
Oh, yeah.
No,
both of them together.
I don't think T.O. was on the Bengals.
He was on the Bengals.
T.J. Who's Your Mama was.
Come on, man. Picked off in the end zone again. Daniel Wright with the pick this time.
What is going on? Does no one want to win this game? This is the 3rd time a team throws a pick in an area when they have a chance to score on their drive, and this is the 2nd pick by a team actually in the end zone.
Yeah, just going back and forth with the turnovers. So now Florida winning the turnover battle, only having thrown 2 compared to Fort Worth's 3. So Florida gets their first shot at it here in the second half. Ron Cochran in the first half, 13-19, 128 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Art Vandelay wearing a dunce cap for his spinning prowess, as he would have been able to return a kick return for a touchdown. Tamon Simeon likes the TJ Who's Your Mama. T.O. Yeah, T.O. was on.
He sure was.
He was on the Bengals, and him and Ocho Cinco had this Batman and Robin thing going.
Proven wrong.
Yeah,
that's
that's what they called themselves, Batman and Robin. I don't know who was who, but quite a dynamic duo. Chris Comisac unable to get much going there. They'll spot him with a 1-yard gain, 3rd down and 2. See how Florida's doing on 3rd down efficiency tonight. 1 of 5 on 3rd downs. There's your updated look at the team stats as Fort Worth way out in front overall yardage, but trailing by 3, Gerald.
Yeah, and it's just like it's still sloppy. Oh, they picked
2 of 6 on 3rd down now as Comisac picks up that one. Yeah, it's a sloppy 240 yards for sure. Just we've seen this from them, like we've talked about all season long. We've seen some games where their defense is just lights out. Not only lights out, their defense is scoring just as much as the offense is scoring. And you have other games where really nothing could quite go their way.
Wow, Comisac tank.
Wow, picks up about 20 there. I'll let Hacker be the judge of how much he gets credited for, but that's what it looked like to me. Great stiff arm and great run.
He gets out there and he's able to just get free, just running out there like a tank, and switches the ball in his outside hand right there to try to put a stiff arm, but gets there. But got his team at midfield now, and I don't know. Florida is just, I don't know, man. Like I feel like Fort Worth is just letting them hang in.
You see T-Roy Gaines on the wall? Isn't he in Baltimore? Cochran throws to Ron Haynes over the middle. T-Roy Gaines, his photos on the wall with a handful of rings.
Why are they showcasing that? Did he
Hacker right there. If the camera keeps panning, there he is. There he is. See?
Oh, wow.
He's right over on Cochran's head right now.
That's got to be some taunting move to Florida.
Look at these rings. It could be. It could be. Psychological warfare. I love it. Cochran throws. Why not? To Delaney Nash. Fort Worth takes over at their own 46.
God, a season 21 MVP Delaney Nash.
And a close-up of T-Roy Gaines.
T-Roy Gaines saying it. Just a reminder, Florida, you don't have this many rings. We got more than you. Delaney Nash picks it off. And this is the 6th turnover of the game. 3 interceptions by each squad. Again, as I'm going to say, it's just not. This isn't the football I expect from these teams.
Yeah. I mean, great defensive performance. You can call it sloppy on offense like we have been, but let's give credit where credit's due. The defense is getting themselves in position and taking balls away. Florida Fort Worth in the last 7 drives, Gerald, 6 interceptions. And on the one drive that wasn't an interception, a field goal after the ball was moved 23 whopping yards.
Yeah.
Sloppy. But again, great defensive look, especially, you called out Florida for not having a lot of turnovers on the season. Well, they've got 3 tonight. But when you talk about, the turnover differential, your difference between your takeaways and your turnovers, net sum 0 so far is, sure, the defense got 3 takeaways, but Ron Cochran's also thrown it away 3 times. So
right. And for Florida, right? Florida is doing some good right now, right? On defense, being able to take the ball away, right? Coming into this game, they had 7 total takeaways on the season.
Yep.
Of the interception category.
Adam Jones
they've gotten 3.
Getting that stop there.
Today, they've gotten nearly half of their total season.
Going for it again.
This is, I don't know, man.
Maybe the punter called in sick. Price under center, 4th and 1. Pressure on its way. Bacon
stopped him.
No, he got it. Bacon got the first down. We'll see if that gets a second look. Will the 80s coach throw the flag? It doesn't look like he will.
You have to right there. It was so close.
It's probably a tie-dye flag, too. I kind of wanted to see him throw it. You know what I mean? I'm almost certain it is. Throw over to middle to Cade Stevens. He was definitely in bounds, but couldn't catch it. 2nd down and 10. Meanwhile, in Charleston, Denver and Charleston, Gerald, the last 3 possessions have also been interceptions there. This is what happens when the week starts on a Saturday.
It just goes haywire.
Everyone is thrown off.
Yeah, I know. It
Chaos,
gotta go back.
pandemonium, cats and dogs are living together. Chaos, mass hysteria, and a first down to Hacker as he gets the catch up to the 25.
Yeah, and Hacker pulling only his 2nd catch of the day on an 8 total
I was
target.
8th target, though.
It's like, wow. This is.
Can Fort Worth at least tie the ball game up here?
Well, I mean, they're hoping to take the lead right here, but as we've seen on their last drive, they just throw a pick and.
2 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top. Single back gets the handoff, gets stuck behind the center, and goes for a gain of 1. That was Aaron Alexander with his 2nd carry of the ball game.
How are you a 5'8", 250-pound fullback?
Well, are you?
He's kind of round.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, you height shaming him or fat shaming him? Like, either way, it's wrong. Price up top. McGee with the catch, 1st and goal. Why you got to pick on him, man?
No, I'm just looking at him like, man, he's really small.
You're like, wow, look at these measurables. What a freak of nature. I mean, that's just not nice.
Look, he doesn't look like he's 250, but
Does he look slimmer? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He plays a lot slimmer than that, but I'm like 5'8", he's like small.
6 catches, 124 yards from McGee. Yeah, I'm just changing the subject. You're just being mean. Price, short drop. Oh, that scared me, but it was caught by McGee. Adds on to his total a smidge.
No, but what they don't want to get caught into, in my opinion, I think it's important right here that they score right here. Because if they don't, and they don't gain much yards, I feel like they've been in a situation where they feel like they're forced to pass.
Well,
and it has not been good for either squad.
Oh, Price to throw into the end zone. Back of the end zone, caught. Touchdown, Stephen Hacker. Fort Worth finally takes the lead.
Right, and Hacker was kind of went missing for a little bit. Hadn't caught much of nothing. He caught one on this drive right here. And what did he do? He catches it to end the drive, keeping his feet inbound, and taking a lead right here. And they trust what I said. You have to score here. Otherwise,
yeah,
it could have been a little bit of danger.
Ryan Tobin in the area. I kind of was expecting him to jump up and try to swat it down or maybe even take it away, but he doesn't. And Fort Worth, after 10 plays, 54 yards, finally breaks the streaks of punts and the lone field goal. Fort Worth now takes the lead by 4.
Was it really punts or was it INTs?
Picks. I knew it started with a P.
Yeah, same thing. You have too much of that solution we had in the air in the booth here. Someone was trying to fix something.
I think somebody was, I don't know, somebody was spraying some sort of chemicals in the booth. And, wow, was it strong.
It's strong enough to make one loopy. Is that a right word? Loopy?
Yeah, loopy.
Punts, picks, all the same. It all results in the other team getting the ball.
Yeah. Sometimes the pick is better than the punt because, you might just like heave it even deeper than your punter can kick it. They call that just, an arm punt.
Yeah, well, that's not. It hasn't been that kind of pick.
No, these have all been bad.
Bad, very bad.
You don't want to throw a pick in the end zone, much like you wouldn't want to punt it into the end zone either.
Or catch it in the end zone.
If it's like, say, 3rd and goal, you wouldn't punt. That'd be silly.
Art Vandalay had 2 blunders today. Catching a punt in the end zone, not a costly one.
Yeah, kneeled it
but
down.
A weird one.
Weird.
And then he does a weird move and spinning and costs the team a touchdown.
Shame.
Yep.
3rd and 7 for Florida as they're looking to try to answer. Cochran rolls out, throws, middle, one-handed catch by Art Vandalay. Maybe he's just a bit of a showboater, that Art Vandalay.
Yeah, he's a diva.
Yeah, all wide receivers aren't.
Ever since he became the ultimate X factor in championship game, hey man, he's been quite the diva doing his thing, and but look, that catch pulls it in, showed that he was a diva, but also made the play, pulled it in, And as they get closer to midfield, look, I'm interested to see how Florida's going to end this drive. What is going on?
That's how they end the drive, Gerald. Adam Leach to the house. Touchdown Toros, and they extend their lead.
And what does Fort Worth do right here? Says, hey, our offense has put up 2 touchdowns. Now it's the defense's turn.
Here we go.
To get another interception that's going to be returned for a touchdown. That's the 6th touchdown on the season scored by the defense. And now I do think Fort Worth is in a position right now that they can actually shut the door on this game, and their defense can do what it has done, because Florida has struggled offensively. We've seen it, right? They got a little bit sloppy, and now that Fort Worth has now got themselves a 2-score lead, it puts a lot more pressure on Florida to be able to produce. And I do think this is when, it plays right into Fort Worth's hands defensively.
Oh, how quickly the turntables turn, as Fort Worth was trailing 10-7 just moments ago, and now up 21-10. Adam Leach currently not in the running for an all-star appearance, but his 6th interception on the season. By the way, 5 was good for 5th best in the league, and his 2nd pick 6 on the season. Something tells me that after Week 12's scoring is tabulated, Adam Leach will be destined for an all-star game. Still plenty of weeks left to change all that scoring around.
I am so glad the new scoring system is in place for seasons upon season, right? Like, look, and I know we did,
Oh my God! Hang on, Beletsky crossing midfield. People gaining on him, though, getting the tackle at about the 43-yard line. Florida's not done yet. Beletsky finally able to get a good long run going, and that was definitely his longest of the day. In fact, I think he totally eclipsed his total yardage on the day. He only had 27 yards before that carry, Gerald, and that one was at least that much.
Yeah, and that actually got him back in somewhat of a standing, right? Right now, hey, we're going to be able to get down there, and look, now he can increase his average to 8.
He's averaging 8 a carry. That's what's up. Yeah, okay.
Over the 1 carry, but look, they gotta keep this momentum going right now.
They got to keep the ball, too. They have a nasty habit of giving it to the opponent.
Yeah, four times.
That's just not a way to win a football game.
No, it's not.
Our Vandelay gets that completion.
Look, and Florida's just been out of sorts all season long, right? Hey, look, we know. Hey, look, they weren't looking as crisp as they were, in season past. But when you start out the season 4-1, you think, hey, look, man, they got something going on. But then you lose the last 3.
Yep.
And you start to look at it, so hey, look, so there's something deeper going on with the squad, and and maybe some game planning or schemes or something like that.
Currently at risk of losing 4 straight. Pass up top is complete, trying to not lose that 4th in a row. You're watching the Simulation Football League action here on the Virtual Football Network. This week on VFN, we'll feature SFL today, Monday, and the SFLM playoffs on Wednesday, and the UFL on Thursday. It's another week of nonstop action right here on the Virtual Football Network. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of SFL action this week. Charlie Beletsky, he's just had quite enough of these Toros. You got Hacker and Doug Day on the sideline wall over there now.
Tavius Gordon just ate the dirt from Beletsky right there.
Yeah, he did. Second down and 1.
I like they got a picture of some of their friends or everything else on the side. Even though they could be taunting themselves with the rings of T-Roy Gaines. That's a little strange, but T-Roy Gaines is a friend of the show and the league as a whole.
All right, well, 1st down and goal, but that's going to have to wait till the other side. 3 quarters in the books, 10 minutes remains here from the Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. The Toros out in front, 21-10, but the Storm is driving. Watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith, Stephen Hacker, Cameron Irvine on production. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Cochran with 4 picks on the day. Pitches this one down to Komisek. He'll pick up a yard. 2nd and goal.
And I'm going to say it again right here, right? Especially for them. They actually need to do the same thing at Fort Worth. Either get yourself right, a couple of yards, or get in the end zone right here, because it has not been successful for Florida trying to, score from this area since their first drive.
Kamasak, end zone touchdown. Florida back in it.
Kamasak says, I'm just taking the direct route and powering through everybody right here, and just muscles his way with his big, strong body right in the end zone right there. What an answer. After they threw the pick six right here, I was thinking, hey, look, this could be done. Fort Worth could run away from it.
Yep.
What they do, they come out, and man, Boletsky runs for, half the length of the field and sets them up really, really good going forward, getting a little bit of momentum and some confidence behind them. And they actually finish the drive off and close it down to a 4-point deficit.
Yeah, 7 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes, 21 seconds off the clock, 9 minutes, 33 seconds to go here in this one, a 4-point ball game. Still anyone's game, and heck, who knows? Eric Price might throw a pick on this very next play, Gerald. They haven't given up a pick six yet, but certainly have thrown 3 interceptions of their own. It's a great one here tonight. Smash that like button. The SFL wants to reach more people, and the best way to do that is to have some likes on this video. Leave a comment on the video if you'd like. Subscribe to the channel. You can help us reach all the people who need more football in their lives. Thanks for your support of the Virtual Football Network. I'd love it if people left comments like, gosh, these commentators aren't that annoying after all.
Or even if they said we are as annoying as advertised.
Yeah, at least it's still
a comment nonetheless, right? Positive, negative, everything else is all engagement, right? So, which means if they're making a comment, we're making some sort of an impact.
Yeah, good, bad, indifferent, I don't know.
And you know the crazy thing with it? If people would complain and they keep complaining,
yeah,
why do you keep watching? Because you like it.
You know you like it. Did you see the first downs? First downs gained by the Toros, 21 to only 11. By Florida. So yardage-wise, everything had been in Fort Worth's favor on the team stats screen, except for the points. It was 10-7 at that point, but now 21-17. But a big third down here coming up.
Fort Worth almost doubling them up on actual yards.
Price over the middle. That one is incomplete. Cade Stevens inbounds once again. Still can't catch it. 4th down and 8.
Big 3 and out right here by Florida. They're getting the ball back now. I feel like they have some more momentum, right? I think they kind of got themselves in a situation, because that's the type of Florida offense I'm used to seeing from the past, right? Efficient, quick, being able to strike down there at any moment, right? So we've seen a cleaner second half from the way the ball's moving for both squads.
Vandelay slams to the ground, but not until he gets into Fort Worth territory. So 49 yards away from the end zone, down by 4. A field goal doesn't even tie it, but still plenty of time left. I would imagine if they can get in field goal range, they'll take advantage of that and at least kick the field goal and then rely on their defense.
Yeah, look, and if they get down there, right, they're probably going to use up no more than 2 to 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah.
I think you kick the field goal at that point, bring it within 1.
Got to keep it clean, though. 4 interceptions, 1 for a pick six thrown by Cochran today. 8.5 to go. Cochran back to pass. Looks up top. Tipped and nearly picked off. Wow. Gerald, Aiden Davis had his hands on that one.
Aiden Davis.
He's already got a pick today.
Aiden Davis saved the catch, in my opinion, right there. Him skying up there and actually knocking the ball and deflecting it a bit. Otherwise, I think Art Vandelay comes away with that catch for about a 15-plus yard gain.
Whew. 2nd down and 10 from the 49. They're going to go to the ground. Wow, and Boletsky can't pick up anything. Surprising, he's been averaging 8.2 per carry today, Gerald, but that time goes nowhere.
Right, and he goes nowhere fast right there. Now out to 3rd down right here for Fort Worth and their defense to be able to get off the field right here. I mean, we know that they have been putting a whole lot of pressure on any quarterback this season, but here's an opportunity for them.
Cochran up top. Well, incomplete to Stephen Bush. We've got an update from Charleston. Cameron Irvine, take it away.
Thank you, Mike. Denver was mounting a comeback in the second half, but nobody touches Nick Hoagland on this toss. Charleston still up big, 27-10, late in the 3rd quarter in a surprising upset. Back to you.
Should have went with my gut.
Did your gut tell you to pick Charleston?
It did.
the Whales versus the Blackbirds. I don't know what a Nightwing is.
A bird. It's not even is it a real bird?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. Aren't all birds real birds?
No, a Nightwing. Is that a real bird?
Oh, like, is there? I don't know. I'd have to Google
A
that.
bird called a Nightwing? Anyway.
I don't
But
think so.
they're just not playing so. Like I said, Charleston's a lot better squad than a lot of people think, and
A lot better than
give
the record
credit for.
shows, yeah. For sure. 2nd down and 3. Comisac just lowering the shoulder, Gerald. He's been trucking defenders all night long. Yeah, he's excited about that one. I don't blame him. 1st down for Florida.
I can just see after Comisac just ran into Ben Stone, says, "Get off of me, quarterback." Why Ben Stone used to be a former quarterback back in his minor league days, and says, "Yeah, you're not what you think you are," and just tosses him to the turf.
Cochran pitches this one up top to Boletsky. Nice blocking, but tackled by Ben Stone after a 5-yard pickup. 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, I'd take that challenge. Ben Stone on Boletsky is a lot different than Ben Stone on Chris Comisac.
Yeah. Comisac got 4 inches and 30 pounds on Boletsky. Dexter Jackson says, "Don't care, sit down." Makes a tackle after only a 1-yard gain. Florida's Bullet Boletsky today, 86 yards. That's the most rushing yards since April 27th of 2024. We talked about how Boletsky just hasn't been the Boletsky of old. That's almost a year in the making to get that many rushing yards, Gerald.
And that's almost an unbelievable stat.
Yeah. Oh, a shovel pass. Oh, but he's a yard shy. So what do you do here, Gerald? Do you kick your field goal? They've gone for it twice on 4th down. I think they're going to kick it, but I don't think they should.
I think at this stage right here, I do think you put yourself in a situation, if you are going to come out, you can hard count them, I think, and just put yourself in, look, if you do it, hey, look, if you want to, if you looking to settle for the field goal anyway, which they
Sneed
make.
Yeah, he made it, but it was approaching the right upright there.
I would have brought the offense back out.
Yeah, done a little something.
Yeah, and actually tried to hard counter them right there, right? Because look, the game's getting tight, right? You know you got a field goal, and you have a high chance of making that field goal, and you're in the situation, or at least give yourself a shot there. Look at this thing. Why? Get it out of here.
There's my rented blimp. Sneed kicks it out of the back of the end zone. Greg Soto joining us in the chat says the first thing he heard as soon as he came in was that Chris Comisac is 4 inches and it's 30 pounds, sir. I'm not sure I like where his mind is, but those are legitimate stats. And speaking of stats, here's an updated look at the team stats. Brought to you by Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios. So 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Eric Price. Get out of the way, Blimp. It's distracting. It's supposed to be going in circles, Gerald. Circles. Not flying straight across the field.
No, I think I saw you texting, so I think you made the thing come right over the field, knowing I would see it.
Hey, block Gerald's view. Watch the thing land right at the 50. Just drops down, knocks a pass out of the sky. Oh, and the pass broken up by Dag Stroneworks. Aerial photography and video. Anyway. Oh, Stephen Hacker over the middle. Catching it right over his shoulder, getting the 1st down. Only a 1-point lead, Gerald. It's the play calling gets interesting here. Like, do you stay aggressive? You've already thrown 3 picks.
Look, and I can't believe it goes right over Tobin's head, right? Tobin's if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a former DB. I mean, you let that ball go right over your head, you're linebacker, you still got the skills as a DB, young man. Put your hands up and bring that down.
Price's stats, 15 of 31. 3 interceptions. 4.5 to go, clock rolling. Oh,
get what?
Yeah, you stayed aggressive and you threw a pick inside the 15-yard line. And Florida's back in business. Evan Carroll with the pick, the 4th from this defense. Gerald, you put the spotlight on this defense in the pregame show, said they are just not getting takeaways. Today, they flipped that script just for you. They came into the night, Gerald, with only 7 interceptions on the season. They've got 4 tonight.
Yeah, and guess what? Evan Carroll, if all the people you throw to, you don't throw to the all-time leader in interceptions, any all-time leader in pick sixes, and they do it here. If I'm not mistaken, I do think that's his second INT on the day.
Cochran looking to give it right back. Throws. He almost did. What? Is the sun in their eyes? Is the blimp blocking their view? I'm sorry. If it is, I'll tell it to fly back to base. Aiden Davis gets his hands on it. Gerald, he could have had that.
You literally almost willed that into existence by saying Cochran looking
Well,
to
what the
actually
heck?
give it right back. And it was not a very good throw. I don't know what is going on right now in all these picks.
Mass hysteria. 2nd and 10 from the 13. Cochran drops back, fires, end zone, incomplete. Third down coming up. A field goal gets him a 2-point lead.
Why are we going to the end zone right now?
Yeah, you
That's
got
what I
four.
don't
You got 4 minutes, 16 seconds. You can get a first down. You can get a first and goal if you just work your way down the field.
And
Quads look.
And Kamasak has been playing really, really well right now.
Whew, 3rd and 10. Cochran, his 3rd straight pass from the 20 to the end zone, and he gets it, but he's out of bounds. Ron Haynes with the catch, his left foot out of bounds. I don't know if we'll get another look at this, Gerald.
That was 3 passes to the end zone in a row. Like,
Yep.
why are
was
we
the closest
going
one.
for broke here? I don't know what.
Now they're going to go for the 2-point lead. Watch this kick. Snead almost missed the even closer field goal. This one 30 yards from the left hash. Kick is on its way, going right, but it is good. This game has given me anxiety. Four plays, 0 yards, 16 seconds. Okay.
Like, oh man, I didn't understand the play calling in that situation. He went to the end zone nearly every time.
Greg Soto says, pass it to Art. Clearly, Greg came in late. He doesn't know
He came
that.
in late. He has no
He
idea.
has no clue.
The Art Vandelay fumble follies.
Yeah, the cone of shame. You know, like if your dog is chewing his stitches, you got to put that cone of shame around his. Just for fun, they should put the cone of shame on Art Vandelay for his shenanigans on that kick return. It'd be a whole different game.
It could be
Gerald.
a different game.
It'd be a whole different game.
4-point different at that point,
Pass it
possibly,
to
or
Art.
completely different.
Greg, you don't know what you're talking about. 1st and 10 from the 20. Pass it to Art. Show up on time, Mr. Soto. The cone of shame.
Cone of shame.
So Eric Price has to hang on to the ball. He's going to throw. Over the middle. Oh, you know what? McGee off to the races. 40, 30, one man to beat. No one's going to stop him. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Fort Worth. They retake the lead.
You know what they do right there? They threw a pick right at Evan Carroll last time. What they do, they go right back at him. Knowing Evan Carroll gets aggressive right there. What's he do? Misses the pick. Henry McGee, one of the fastest wide receivers in the league right now, grabs it and doesn't miss the opportunity and takes it in for the score for the Toros now to retake the lead. What is going on right now?
Henry McGee currently in the running, in the lead for Offensive Player of the Week spotlight. And it's not hard to do when there's only 2 games into the week so far, but 200-plus yards with a touchdown on only 8 catches. There you go, 208 yards officially on 8 catches.
26 yards a catch.
The average, of course, is slightly skewed by the 80-yarder. Well, okay, 79-yarder, officially a one-play 79-yard drive from the 20. That's sometimes these stat spotters.
What is, yeah, they're just, I don't know. They use fractions, apparently.
Yeah, counting with their fingers and toes. And if they forget to take their sock off, that throws things off. Sometimes they're wearing socks with sandals, and that's cone of shame worthy. So Florida's got to answer back now. They worked their way, well, they didn't work their way down the field. What am I talking about? They threw 4 passes at the end zone, completed 0, and then and then kicked a field goal for a 2-point lead. Now Fort Worth just answers with a, I don't know, so we'll call it 79.5-yard touchdown pass, 5-point lead. Stephen Hacker asking, what about Crocs and socks?
Crocs with socks?
Yeah,
I think Crocs
socks,
are terrible
I think it's
anyway.
socks with Crocs. Yeah, you don't.
It looks like some people put their foot in Swiss cheese.
Yeah, or some sort of just like plasticky foam fake shoe. I don't know. Cochran to throw. Gets it up top. Appeases Greg Soto. And completes the pass to Art Vandelay.
And they need more of this right here, right? And what a good route run by Art Vandelay right there too. Finding the hole in his zone, settling in there a little bit, slowing up, make sure Ron Cochran sees him and hits him.
Career high for Henry McGee, his second 100-yard game. Currently with 208 yards. Gerald, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not quite done. Not a whole lot of time left in this one. They do have a 5-point lead. So actually, I do imagine if Fort Worth gets the ball back with the lead, then we won't see a whole lot more passing. But if Florida's able to get in the end zone now, Gerald, it's going to be a bit of a shootout here at the end. 3 minutes to go. Second down and 10 from the 49.
I actually want that, to be honest. I actually want it. It's been really entertaining.
It's been a fun
second
game.
half.
Yeah. Especially if you like picks.
Oh, that was a bad throw. Like, he was open. What are you doing?
Yeah, Ben Stone was open too, actually, and almost caught the ball.
Maybe it was he saw a 1 and thought the 2, and just didn't see the 2 with the 1 and threw it to that guy when he just a mess.
Third down and 10 from the 49. Gerald, we are making an impact on the league. Cochran back to pass over the top. Oh, wow.
No
Incomplete
way.
and a flag. I did not see any PI, but the ref did, or he was paid off. One or the other.
What a gift.
Oh, an absolute gift. Well, I don't know.
I'm going to have to
There's
see
the
right
circle.
here. I don't know.
I mean, did he get in Ron's way?
No, he didn't.
He got in Ron's way, but Ron did not slow down at all. He wasn't impeded. I didn't see it. I don't agree with it.
That's a tough call right there.
That is a tough call. First
he
down
has
and 10
much right
from
for
the
the
28.
ball as the receiver does.
Questionable call. First and 10, clock stop, 2:58 to go. Cochran, short pass, middle, nearly throws it to E.K. Vincent.
Every throw gives me anxiety, right?
Yeah, every throw I'm looking to see which defender do I need to say got the pick this time, because
Jesus.
I mean it's been all over the place. You got Adam Leach with a pick 6, you got Aiden Davis with a pick, you got Ben Stone with a pick, you got Delaney Nash with a pick. Why not E.K. Vincent? Why not Dexter Jackson? Cochran says, now we'll throw it to Stephen Bush with no defenders in the area. A wise plan. All right, so you got 2:45 to go, clock rolling, 2-minute warning, all 3 timeouts by both teams. Obviously, it would behoove Florida to try to chew some of this clock up at this point. They got to get a touchdown, but that basically means it's 4-down territory from here on out. So,
if I'm Florida, I'm not too concerned with the clock and what's left, right? I feel like, hey, look, my defense has got to come out and actually make plays, which they have for the most part, and gave up there. But don't play to slow the game down right now. Get the score if it's open for you.
Cochran, end zone, incomplete. 787 total yards today, Gerald. 8 picks and 38 first downs. This has been a game of stats.
Can we get 1,000 yards before the end of the game?
If Florida gets a touchdown, you very well may see 1,000 yards on this game, because then Fort Worth's going to have to go rocketing back down the field, and then Florida's going to try to do the same thing. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. I didn't think we'd see 8 picks either. Maybe 9.
Whoa,
Yeah,
there's been
there it is. 9 picks. Update the graphic. Wow. Florida does have an opportunity to get the ball back, but Ben Stone may have just put the final nail in the coffin.
That was a severe, overthrow right there. If you wanted to call a PI right there, you could have called it on that one right there.
Graphic updated.
Right, and it was just one throw, no first downs added, just 9 picks.
9 picks.
Wow. And there was so much, if we're talking about somebody impeding progress, I think it was on that route right there with, Ron Haynes. So it wasn't a severe overthrow. He was thrown to a spot, and Haynes wasn't there.
Greg Soto said, Art will get the go-ahead touchdown. Redemption, Art. Negative. Cone of shame stays intact. First and 10 from the 4. Jet 0 on the ground. Oh, breaking 2 tackles at once and injuring a man along the way. No? I guess not. No, picks up 6. 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, and I think they're going to let this go down to 2-minute warning, and then they're going to go out. But look, Florida's got to make a stop.
2 minutes to go here in this wonky ball game. What a way to start week 12.
It's chaos. We had a sloppy first half.
Yeah, sure did. Second down and 4. Jet 0 gets the first down, and Florida will have to call their first timeout.
It would have been really good if Florida would have got to stop there and force that 3rd down, but
Yeah.
it's not the end. They got to make these stops.
They do have to make these stops. That 25-yard line looming behind them. If Fort Worth can get there, it's all but over. 0 takes it, gets up to the 20. Halfway home. Second timeout called by Florida. At this point, a first down will end the ball game, and Fort Worth will sneak out of here with their 6th victory on the season.
Jet 0 actually, got nearly he's nearly at 100 yards on the day right now.
Price hands it off. Jet 0 wins it for the Toros.
And that's what it was. All they did, they gave it to the big guy in the back, Jet 0, to kind of close it out. And right at the end, you got to look. I mean, he was getting 5-yard plus a carry on all of his last carries that he had. Keep feeding him the ball. And guess what it is? They actually win in this game to keep themselves in the playoff picture. And for me, I'm looking at Florida now, and I'm like, hey, look, man, I really do think this is their 4th loss in a row. We know that. And I think their season is done. I think it's done right now. They just don't have it. When's the last time Florida has lost this many games in a row? I don't even think I can say it. Maybe 16, 17 was the last time they didn't make the playoffs. And it's just, so many games in a row that they've lost now, and they're reeling. And I think they're starting to question themselves.
Yeah, season 20 was the last time they lost 4 in a row, Gerald. They actually lost 4 in a row to start season 20. And, do you know who their first win was against in season 20 in week 5? The Revs. Sorry, man. Didn't mean to do that to you. That's just the stats.
No, you did. No, you did. 100% did.
I didn't. I didn't know it when I saw it.
Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up because I knew it.
Oh, well.
That's why I just picked a random season, not that season.
No, but then I had to just go and pull up stats right there on the fly. But Florida, the last time that they lost 4 in a row, Gerald, they also went 5-7 on the season, and currently they're going to be falling to 4-5 on the way back to a 5-7 type finish. In their history, dating all the way back to season 8, they've only not made the playoffs twice. In those 2 seasons, they did not make the playoffs. They were both 5-7 records. It was their only 2 losing seasons ever. In fact, they haven't even ever finished 500. They've either they've either had a winning record and made the playoffs, or they've gone 5-7 those 2 times. And it is looking like this might be another one of those 5-7 seasons for them. For the Fort Worth Toros, though, they advanced to 6-4 on the season, and they're just as much in the hunt as anyone else in the South. They're at the bottom, but this win might move them up in the standings a little bit. That's your final. Fort Worth 28, Florida 23. Gerald, your final thoughts?
Yeah, it was a little bit chaotic right early on, and we saw a sloppy first half, but they kind of rebounded in a way. We had a little bit more fireworks in the second half as far as the offenses go. Defenses stood tall, right? Like 9 total turnovers. You actually had 5 from Florida, 4 from Fort Worth, and Fort Worth came out of the end of it. You know what it was? That 5th turnover that they've actually had, or a 4th turnover by Florida that Fort Worth turned directly into a touchdown, and that's the difference in this game. Congratulations, Fort Worth. You are still in the running.
Yeah, Florida falls to 4-5. Fort Worth advances to 6-4. Next up for Florida, in Week 13, they'll take on the Arizona Scorpions. Fort Worth heads into the bye week, and then they will be in Pittsburgh. For Gerald Smith, Stephen Hacker, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who's always with me in spirit, I'm Mike Daggs. Thanks for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. Have a great night.